This is the MTPredictor weekly market update for May 10th. So let's just take a look at the S&P here. I think last week we were taking a look at the fact that we were coming off the resistance here, anticipating we may get that corrective action here. We did get that. And then the jobs report came out on Friday. We had that nice outside gap up on Friday, and back close or near the all-time highs there in the S&P. The Nasdaq, again, the Nasdaq hit the larger degree resistance here, came off. There's the outside gap up on Friday. Still a ways off though from its prior high there. And then the one that's been the laggard has been the Dow. And the Dow again had the larger degree resistance here. That was the last all-time high. And then where the other markets, your S&P and your Dow or your Nasdaq, made new highs in here, the Dow failed. Now the Dow did take out the prior swing high here, but still we haven't made a new high there in the Dow. But getting a little closer here, we've got some daily resistance just above where we ended on Friday there, at least from Friday's high. 18,200, nice round number there, and then right around 18,300 will be the next larger degree resistance there in the Dow. If we look at, well, let's just look at the, well, so I've got the dollar index up here, so we'll just take a look at that first, and then we'll take a look at the Dow transports. But the the dollar index here, we hit the monthly resistance here, an initial move down. This was around the Fed meeting. The ABC correction where the TS3 is here, I projected the wave 3 down. That's a potential target. We still have strength on the STF to the downside here. Now we've come into some, a fib cluster, this wave C of support here. But we'll see if this eventually does break down, and we need to have some high volume coming in on the turn. So we may get some professionals stepping in and buying in this level. So this may we may see some upside movement here. If we look at the weekly chart of the dollar here, this was your wave 3, the big wave 3 into the monthly resistance. This pullback, obviously a potential wave 4, just shy of the top of the wave 4 level there. All right, so we'll see how this shakes out. If we get some more fall through on the daily into the wave 3, that will put us solidly in the wave 4 on the weekly chart, and then we may see a turn at that point and see if we don't rally into a wave 5, retest the monthly resistance here. Alright, but let's go back to the Dow transports, because again we want to see the Dow has been the laggard, and we need to see the Dow and the Dow transports confirm those new highs in the other markets. Now this is the weekly. Really want to look at the daily here, but we do have a weekly long signal here, so let's just check that out. There's the target would take the Dow transports to a new high there. On the daily chart, this TS2, which was an ABC correction in wave 4 here, that did reach the target there at 85.70 and change, and then once it hit that support there, has bounced a bit off that level. But we're going to need to see the Dow transports getting back up as the Dow begins, or we'll see if the Dow begins to make a run for the highs there. But the transports, ideally you want the transports to lead, and so we need to see this high get taken out to confirm those highs in the S&P and the NQ. Until then, we still have this divergence, which is typically not healthy. Right, but we'll see how we get how things come off this week. A slow, probably economic day on a Monday, and then things will pick up on Tuesday through Friday this week here. Right, I look at the euro US dollar here. I want to look at the weekly chart here as the big wave 3 down here. We're getting movement up into, well, we haven't reached the wave 4 target yet. Gray candle here. We'll start looking for a red seller's candle to form on a weekly chart, and ideally if it's in the wave 4 area, then we might look for a turn and a potential wave 5 move to the downside in the euro there. Remember, they are in the midst of a QE program, so that's basically devaluing the euro, and we'll see if the dollar bottoms in its wave 4 pullback on the weekly chart and get the euro in a weekly wave 4 in the other heading in the other direction. So we'll see how that lined up. Right, now this is oil on the daily chart, and we had the 5-wave sequence down where the DP was here that basically called the bottom, at least temporarily there. We got the correction back to the wave 4 DP here, which is a tendency. They've taken that wave 4 decision point out. In fact, here's your last, or the highest of the swing highs, recent swing highs, and we've gone through that level now. So there's certainly room to move to the upside in oil, especially if it can hold above this level here. Strength on the STF starting to come off a bit. So we'll see if this maybe consolidates a bit, but certainly have room to move to the upside. And then the monthly support again. Let's go to the weekly chart here. I think we can see the monthly support back down here, just below 40. All right, so we'll see kind of a toss-up here, but they did break that daily level there, which is showing some strength. So we'll see how that follows through. And then finally, we'll just take a look at gold. And let's look at the continuous contract here. So again, here's the weekly chart. Here was our TS2, which is our wave 4 or ABC correction in wave 4 with a wave 5 target. Again, that was reached. And since then, we've had a series of subsequent lower highs in each swing. Of course, we've got another one here. This is the weekly support here. That is held as support, but at the same time, we haven't been able to take out any of these prior swing highs. So expect this to kind of be the range, probably between that where we are now, right around the 1200 to that $1,300 level there. Retest of the support. Now, if this breaks down, we certainly do have room to move again to the downside in gold. If this support continues to hold right around that 1200 level, then we may make another attempt. Now we'll see the swing high that's in here. If that one does get taken out, I think the high there is 1224.50. All right, and then we'll watch this next one, because if this one does break, if we can break that level, get above 1300, then that may be a turn. But right now, don't have that. In fact, we're getting close to retesting the weekly support. And once the dollar is through with its pullback, if it's through and it finds that weekly wave 4 support, begins to move higher off of that into a wave 5, then they may retest this level here, and we'll watch this level if this holds or not, or eventually breaks, if the dollar is going to continue that strength and get that kind of deflationary scenario again. Alright, so we'll wrap it up here. I'll be back doing it again next week. We'll see what the markets do from here. Enjoy the Mother's Day, those mothers out there, by the way. Take care.